Well, I mean, shout out to Rob OG. He's on the Blonde Tears channel a lot, and I know Obi wasn't on the list to be talked about today, but we rolling with it. Um, he said to me that he believes Obi has the skill. Oh, let me let Sim in so this way he can get in on this as well. Hey Sim, how you
Hey,
doing?
good evening.
What's up, General? What's up, General?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Don't mind. I'm a little bit sweaty. I just came home from.
Nice to see you, man. Nice to see
Yeah,
you.
definitely. And congrats to you again, Sim, with
On the
20,000.
20
Oh,
subs.
thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it. Appreciate it.
appreciate you.
Thank you to Kai Soto.
That does. So last night we said 116,000. It's probably more since then. You checked it?
Yeah, it's like 100. I think it's almost 140, like 138,000,
Wow.
139. Yeah, them
That's
Kai
what's
So-
up.
those Kai Soto videos,
Yes.
boy.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got like 300 followers and I got 5,000 views
Yeah,
as well. So, yeah, but it
yeah.
was a good video. Those who are
Thank
not familiar with Kai Soto, he's a second round center prospect out of the Philippines, and he's all the rage right now. So Sim did a great breakdown on him. So go to Nothing But Knicks and check that out. And then also, I did a video on him as well in terms of how he fits with the Knicks or what I like about him and his fit with the
you. Yeah,
Knicks. So check that out as well.
and you did that short, the five things you didn't know about.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Which I didn't know that he had signed with G League Ignite. And I do wonder what his draft stock would have been like had he played with them. Um,
Right, I know.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. But Obi wasn't on the list to talk about today, but he's all the rage right now. So um Paris Duggar said that I believe that was Paris Duggar who said that he believes that he's gonna be Obi's gonna be better than RJ. And then somebody else said, I don't know if that was Paris Duggar or somebody else, that he has a higher upside than IQ. And I was just bringing up the point. OG Rob Blanche Tears said to me that he believes that what we're saying Obi needs to develop, he already has it. He just hasn't had the opportunity to display it. So I was talking to him about footwork, 3-point shooting, putting the ball, you know,
hmm
attacking closeouts, things like that. He's saying that he already has that, just hasn't had the opportunity to show it. Do you guys, and this is for the chat as well, do you guys agree with that? Or do you feel like he's just not getting the time because one, he's playing behind Randall, but two, he just doesn't have that level of skill just yet?
I mean,
In my opinion, go ahead, Godfather. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think he still needs to develop the skill. Like the footwork skill. Even even during the time when he was getting 30 minutes a game at the end of the season, you could see that he's still, you know, um, it's not that he doesn't have footwork. He's got good footwork, but he doesn't have he's not light on his feet. He's not going to tippy toe through the lane. I don't know if he'll ever do that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're not going to see him catch the ball at the mid range and throw a couple of jab steps and then, strong dribble one way and sidestep. You're not going to see him do those type of things because he doesn't have that footwork. And in order to do those things, you need the footwork in order to do it. You know what I mean? He has enough to barrel his way to the lane. He has enough to do his little, back you down and drop step to the basket. You know what I mean? But I think if you're talking about he's going to be better than RJ, and RJ's got to develop those things too. But if he's going to be better than RJ, he's not even at RJ's level as far as I'm concerned with the footwork. When you're talking about footwork, look at Jason Tatum and the things that he's able to do on the court, and a lot of it is because of footwork. You know what I mean? So if you're talking about Obi being able to create his own shot and be one of those type of scorers in the league, and that's what we're talking about RJ being, then he's got to develop that footwork, and that's an area I just think he's behind in, and I don't know if he'll ever develop that kind of footwork.
Yeah. I mean, footwork to me is something like you have to put concerted effort into it.
Yeah,
Like if you out there practicing your 3-point shot, practicing like you have to do actual footwork drills separate from your shooting drills, and then obviously you can incorporate it into those drills as well.
right.
But yeah, I just it's been an issue. Do you think? Well, let me ask. Do you think it's gotten better over time, or is it at the same level?
I think it's gotten better. I do, because I know when he first came into the league, um, I looked at just the way that he jumped, right? When he would get the ball in the lane and he jump off of 2 feet, he had his feet really, really close together. Even on his jump shots, he had his feet really, really close
Hmm.
together. Right. And the reason why, in my opinion, that he was able to still power up and score with people is because he was just more athletic than them. When he got in the league, if you remember, if you go back that first year he was in the league and he was working with what's his name that just left?
Was
Kenny
it?
Payne. He was working with Kenny Payne, and you would see drills where they were working on him, going into the lane, landing on 2 feet with his feet shoulder width apart, right? So they could work on his, powering up to the basket, and having his feet in the right position, So I do think, over the years, the 2 years that he's been in the league, it's gotten better,
Right.
you know. So hopefully he is still working on it and understanding that he's got to develop that kind of footwork if he wants to do the things that he wants to do in the league.
Right. Obi's footwork 5 week is amazing, but that is not going to get you to stay in the league and be productive in the league. Just being able to dunk and
Right.
high fly over someone.
Right.
That's not gonna net you a long NBA career. We're talking about skills. You have to differentiate yourself. You have to separate yourself. How many guys can run and jump and dunk on a lob?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And one day he won't have that athleticism.
Right.
Yeah, you have to rely on a jump shot or a 3-point shot or or some type of go-to move and you're gonna get a basket.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. No doubt about it.
Somebody that Obi, no, I was gonna say somebody that Obi kind of reminds me of from the high flying running that he reminds me of when he first came into the league versus where he is now. It's kind of like Blake Griffin. Like when Blake Griffin first came into the league, he was running the floor just high flying dunking, but then you see where he's at now. His footwork has developed tremendously. He'll at least pull up from the mid range and things like that. So that's who Obi has always reminded me of
Yeah.
from his time in the league so far as Blake Griffin.
Yeah. And you know what? This doesn't mean, I think people think that it means that he's a bad player or going to be a bad player. It doesn't mean that. You know what I mean? If his athleticism can get him over until his footwork and those other skill sets, until he learns it, then that's great. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that he's a bad player. I don't think that at all. I think
Right.
he has a chance. I think if he started, he probably could, give you 15 and 6 or 7 points a game. I really do. You know, you know,
Let's say Obi doesn't develop everything that we say, right? Do you still see him at least 10 years in the league?
yeah, I do. I do. Even if I mean, look at Amari. Amari, Amari was in the league off of pure athleticism and no real skill. And then later when he was with the Knicks, he started working with Akeem Olajuwon so he can develop some of his post moves, and you can see him starting to develop a little bit more footwork. When he got a little bit bigger in his later years and his athleticism went away some, he was always still kind of athletic. He started using using his post up moves, especially when he was having back problems and knee problems and everything. He knew that he couldn't develop, he couldn't rely on just the athleticism. So he started to develop his game a little bit more and get a jump hook and work on a mid range jump shot and things like that. So I think he can still be in the league for 10 years.
Okay.
I just hope that, over the time he continues to work and work and work and work, so that by the time he gets 10 years in the league, 10 years in the league, he's going to be 24 or, 22, 32 or something like that. But still at 32, he should still be able to give you some good production. And by the time he's 32, he has a whole new, knows the game a whole lot better. You know what I mean? And still at 32, you could, look, I don't know if DeMar DeRozan is 32, but look at the year that he had last season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At 32 years old, you can still come into your own and still have a couple of years to be playing at that level, so.
Yeah, I will say that until that time, he's going to need a point guard to really help him, because if he can't hit that 3-point shot at a respectable clip, it's going to be difficult to play him in a half court game.